Hello and welcome to your astrological vibrations for Monday, November 6th, 2023 by Gaia Blooming. I'm Mimi and our energy mantra for today is my power influences the revolution. And here we are. We have an interesting week this week. I feel like we actually have a week that's geared towards healing on multiple layers. So we have the moon moving into Virgo today for the next few days. We're going to have the sun and Chiron in an inconjunct, and we have a few planetary shifts. We have Venus moving into Libra. We have Mercury moving into Sagittarius. But we're building to a new moon. So we're going to have a new moon in Scorpio next Monday, like early on Monday. And so as we go into our depths this week, there's potential for so much healing. And the reason that my focus is on that is because as I was sitting here preparing to record, all that kept going through me is how much progress I've made on my path to wellness. So a few months ago, I decided to shift my personal thoughts from healing, because I was always healing. If you know me well, you should know that since I was in college, I have been on somewhat of a natural healing path. I don't want to take over this with my story, but in college, I hit a wall and couldn't get out of bed. And I've had things like that over my life. And this last time, since 2018, I have been struggling. And I finally feel like I'm getting back on my feet. And I was painting again, which is like a sure sign that it's happening. But I feel like that acceleration has happened fast, in part from my way of thinking about my process. And so as we have Mercury this week finishing up in Scorpio, so the depths where our mind can go, and then walking that alchemy rainbow bridge into Sagittarius, which is like the possibility and the optimism of where things can go. We have potential for working with the mental energies in and of ourselves to help influence whatever it is that you have focus on. So whether it's your own healing / wellness path, whether it's influencing the world, which I have a card for that today that says, can't read it because backwards, by healing internally, I make peace with the world. So whether it's trying to influence the evolution that's happening in the world through your own personal power, there's a lot of potential for that in and of this week. So I feel like I'm turning into Joe. I always joke that Joe loves to do show and tell, and like one of my paintings is sitting here and I'm like, you want to see it? So here's one of them that I'm working on. Influenced by Pink Floyd. But what I wrote on the back is 12-strand DNA activation. I like to empower people through my art. So that's a big thing for me, that I am working on the art level. That's like, to me, a sign like, oh my gosh, my energy is here. So I might do like a separate video talking about all the different layers of things that I've done to help myself, because it's multi-layered. But a big one is the belief, the mental energy. So that being said, we have some more mental energy entering our field today, as we have the moon moving out of Leo and into Virgo. Now, before the moon moves out of Leo, there is a fast-moving yod pointing at that moon in Leo with Pluto and Neptune feeding in. So it's very karmic in nature, but it's a reminder. Love has the power of healing. Love has dominion over all the hate that is happening. And the more you can step into the vibration of love, the more you can neutralize some of these other energies some of these other power plays, some of these other karmic unfoldings that are happening. What if our karmic lesson for all of us is just to learn how to love and be loved in return? Like the song says, the greatest thing you'll ever know is just to love and be loved in return. This yacht is kind of bringing our attention through that. It's fast moving. It's going to be through the night, through like the evening into Monday morning. But pay attention where you may be called to exert power and you decide to exert the power of love. And that, to me, is a very healing path. So, we also have Venus connecting to Pluto, speaking about the power of love. Venus in Virgo connecting to Pluto and Capricorn in a trine. So, it's interesting because when we have Pluto, there can be that power struggle. But again, there can be that Virgo energy, some healing balm that happens. What happens when you exert love? Instead of pushing your agenda, pushing your power? What happens when you sink into love within yourself and let that guide the steps that you take? What happens? It's worth checking out. Moon into Virgo at 11:39 a.m., which means we're going to have kind of like a slow morning, kind of a void moon morning. Void moon in Leo, you may find yourself feeling a little lazy lion in through that energy. But moon moving into Virgo, oh, lost my light. The moon moving into Virgo is going to help us hop, skip, jump into action. Now, what is your focus and what is that alignment? Again, there's a call towards healing. There's a call towards wellness in this energy. The first connection is with Saturn. Saturn newly direct, hooray, over the weekend. Check out my scope if you didn't. Newly direct in Pisces in an opposition. Now, this is zero energy. Again, here we have some karmic stuff that's coming forth with Saturn and Pisces. And yet, as we align our focus, maybe try my focus, the focus of wellness in whatever situation, you may find shift. Sometimes, keep hearing, Dr. Bruce Lipton has that book, The Biology of Belief, but like I keep hearing, the biology of belief. Your belief affects biology. Your belief affects how things are unfolding. And Virgo is such a place of hyper mind focus. And when we have the moon in Virgo, we get the mix of the mental focus with this emotional focus. And so you have some power to like yield that light, but what are you going to do? How are you going to do it? Our last connection of the day is Mercury and Neptune getting in some action. So definitely some interesting energies today. Mercury in Scorpio, Neptune in Pisces. This is where we may feel some depth of emotion coming up, going through, and I feel like you may even have some beautiful depth of insight that comes, especially if you allow yourself to go those places. So when I'm saying like, you know, hocus pocus, mind your focus, and your biology of belief, it doesn't mean that you blot out the other stuff that's still there when you blot it out. But you can go in and you can make shift and you can alchemize, and that is the work. And so if there are challenging emotions, be present. Bring yourself to them. Love on those parts of yourself, and then see what can happen from there. Remember, we are heading into the dark of the moon, and there's going to be stuff coming up. And I would venture to say that this new moon that we're going into may feel eclipsy in its power, being that it is opposite Uranus. So watch for the triggeriness coming in. That being said, we are releasing these past conditions, this old stuff we've been holding on to. It is going to require some aloneness, some time within our own bubble to feel our own energy, especially as the world is as it is right now. If you are seeing orange flashes across my card, that is a lightsaber. There is a Jedi in here. So Ooh. And I also just noticed a ladybug. We are inundated with ladybugs right now. There's a ladybug walking on the door. If ladybug's a sign for anybody. But yeah, get back into your own little emotional bubble. Create some understanding, whether it's for yourself or for others. There is understanding, needing compassion. Yeah, compassion. And the two last cards, we got 3 major arcana cards, but the 2 last cards, the silence card, which is the star card, it's a card of bright future. It's a card of success. And the awareness card, which is the chariot, another card of success. What are you moving towards? What are you focused on? Take time in that aloneness, in that quiet, beyond letting go of the past stuff, beyond providing understanding, to recognize this, because this energy is powerful, especially as you align your heart to help move you forward in it. So,
set your sights.
Set your sights.
Adjust your scope.
Adjust your scope. Thank you, Jedi. Jedi Joe. All right.
Yoda.
Jedi Joda. Okay. Duh. Let me finish by showing my art there. So, this. Somebody ordered a birth chart painting years ago. And finally, it is on the move. Yeah, for wellness. So that's it for today. You can book a reading with me. I am going to have 2024 readings coming out soon. I will begin them in December. I just gotta dig into that astro energy. So look out for that. But if you just want to like finish up the year, like what were my lessons? What happened? We can always do that, or anything else. So email me for that. Besides that, the better it gets, the better it gets. There's more than enough love in the world for you. You have the power, and remember who you are. Namaste.